Alright guys, one last video. I promise it's just one more for Pong. I forgot something I had to do, and that is making a pause menu to go back to the main menu if you want to switch from one player to two player after you already started a game. I'm going to keep this very quick, but basically make sure you have your buttons. These are the buttons I have to make for the pause menu. I have a little pause button I'm going to use, and yeah. So once you guys have that, let's go into our scenes and let's go into our regular Pong, one player Pong. What we're going to do is make a panel, UI panel. We'll call this pause menu. Alright, I added this little thing for the panel. I don't like how thick the white lines are, but it's okay. So within this panel, we're going to make UI legacy button, make 3 of those. So once you have it in the area you want, what you're going to do is delete the text that's inside the buttons, because we're going to replace the source image. So for the resume button, slide in the resume. For the menu button, slide in the menu thingy, and boom. And I do want to make these a little bigger. So alright, that looks good enough. So let's continue. But we're going to need one more button. So right click, UI legacy button, and that's going to be this sprite right here, and it's going to go right there in the corner. So you're going to be able to access the pause menu by either clicking the pause button or pressing escape. So let's go ahead and open our game manager script. Let's make another function. We'll call it private. We'll call it pause game, and actually let's make this public. So before this, actually let's set some variables. So we're going to have public game object. This is going to be called pause menu. So we're going to make a boolean to check if the game is paused. Okay, now let's go back here in our pause game. So when this function runs, we're going to make the pause menu activate. So we're going to do pause menu set active true. Then we want to actually pause the game, and we can do this by going to time scale equals 0. This is going to basically stop everything from moving. And we're going to set is paused to true. Now, we're going to make a similar function called resume game. And basically when this function gets called, the game is going to resume. So pause menu dot set active is going to be false. Then we're going to have the time scale is going to equal 1. Next, we're going to have update. This is going to run every frame of the game. And we're going to say if input dot get key down key code dot escape. This is the escape button. Basically, if this is pressed, we're going to check to see if our game is already paused. If our game is paused, then when we press the escape button, it's going to run the resume game. Else, if the game isn't paused, we're going to pause the game. One thing I do want to do is in our pause button, we need to add some on click. We're going to add our game manager. Then we're going to go to game manager script. When this button is clicked, it's going to pause the game. So now here, our pause menu, we're going to drag in pause menu. So in our resume button, we're going to go to on click, press on, and put in our game manager, and then this is going to resume the game right there. Then one thing we're going to want to do is in our game manager script, let's go back in. We're going to want to input unity.scene management, and then we're going to make 2 more functions. So all the buttons should technically, hopefully, work. Oh, we didn't actually set it up. So in our menu, we're going to add this, input our game manager. Then the function is going to be return menu. And for the quit button, same thing. We're going to have quit game. Now it should work. Let's do this. Pause. Menu. We're back. We are back. So we need the pause menu for the 2-player mode. Go to our pause menu, press Ctrl C, open up your 2-player Pong. Or first of all, press Ctrl V, then we can drag this in here. And then in our game manager, Move our pause menu over here. We gotta reassign our functions for the clicks on the buttons. So let's drag in game manager for the resume. Just the same thing we did in the other one. So everything is in here. It should be good. So let's go to our menu scene. All right, let's run this game. Let's go to 2-player since that's the one we just did. Got our cutscene. I'm pretty proud of that. Not gonna lie. All right, let's pause the game. Press escape. Boom. Press resume. Press the pause button. Press menu. Press 1-player. Ooh. I fixed it. I fixed it, guys. Okay. The real problem was this. When you pause the game freezes. And when you go back to the menu, the game is still frozen technically, even though you can click buttons, I guess. So what I did was basically I made the game resume when you click the menu button. And so now I tested it once and it worked, but we got to test it twice, you know. We do thorough testing here. So let's start the game up. Let's go 1-player. Nice little cutscene. All right, perfect. Pause the game, go back to the menu. We want to do 2-player now. I don't even have to say it. You guys already know. I'm a genius. All right, yeah, that's all I wanted to do, guys. I think I'm done with Pong.